My name is Evelyn Harper. I was 31 years old the night my own family decided I needed to disappear. A searing, violent pain tore through my sleep before I could even open my eyes. It wasn't just intense. It was all-consuming, as if someone had submerged my face in pure acid, turning every second into an eternity. I bolted out of bed, kicking the blanket to the floor, my hands reaching for my face as a scream tore from my throat. The skin under my fingers felt uneven, wet, and throbbing. I rushed into the bathroom, nearly slipping on the cold marble floor, and flipped on the light. What I saw in the mirror was a living nightmare. Blisters were forming on my skin right before my eyes. Red, inflamed patches were rupturing, exposing raw flesh, as blood mixed with clear fluid and trickled down my chin. As a cosmetic chemist, I spent my life creating formulas, testing active ingredients, and studying skin reactions. My mind began working faster than the pain. This wasn't an allergy. This was a severe, concentrated, targeted chemical burn caused by an aggressive acid formulation straight out of a restricted lab protocol. Then the memory hit me like lightning. The unlabeled, frosted glass jar. My mother had brought it to my room earlier that evening with a warm smile, whispering, "It's an exclusive night cream for radiant skin. Tomorrow is a big day after all." Tomorrow was the wedding of my younger sister, Lillian. The perfect daughter. The favorite. The one for whom our family gave everything. I had trusted my mother. I applied the cream before bed, and I woke up in hell. The bathroom door burst open. I turned around, expecting panic or a rush to help. Instead, my family stood in the doorway. My father, my mother, and Lillian. Their faces held no fear or concern, only cold irritation. "God, Evelyn, can you be a little quieter?" My father said coldly. "It hurts." I rasped, "Please look at me." My mother crossed her arms. "It's just a skin reaction. You always exaggerate everything." Lillian rolled her eyes, examining her manicure. "Seriously, the night before my wedding?" "This isn't a reaction," I screamed. "It's a chemical burn." My father sighed heavily, walked out, and returned a moment later with dark sunglasses and a thick hoodie, tossing them onto the floor at my feet. "Put these on," he said dryly. "And stop making a scene. Do you really want to ruin your sister's wedding?" Lillian finally looked up at me and smiled, a light, barely noticeable smile. In that split second, I understood everything. It wasn't an accident. It was calculated. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, and Lillian's fiancé, Daniel, appeared in the doorway looking concerned. Before I could speak, Lillian's posture shifted. Her voice became soft and fragile as she placed a hand on his chest. "Everything is fine. Evelyn is just stressed. She isn't handling things well. She doesn't want to attend the wedding, so she decided to put on a show." My mother added instantly, "She's always been jealous of Lillian." Daniel frowned, looking at me through my dark glasses, and slowly nodded. "I see." He wrapped his arm around Lillian and led her away, leaving me alone with a burning face and a shattered life. Sitting on the cold floor, I put the pieces together. The unlabeled jar, the precise formula, their total lack of surprise, the prepared clothes to hide my face. They wanted to destroy me physically and socially so I wouldn't outshine their precious daughter. But as the physical pain burned, a cold, ruthless clarity settled inside me. I put on the hoodie and glasses, looked at the mirror one last time, and whispered, "You made a mistake." Then I walked out of the house into the freezing night air, heading straight for the hospital. The automatic doors of the hospital slid open, and I staggered inside, whispering for help at the reception. The nurse looked up and gasped, immediately calling for emergency burn treatment. The next few hours were a blur of bright lights, soothing ointments, and bandages. When the attending physician, Dr. Hayes, told me that it was a complex, lab-grade acid mixture, my heart froze. It confirmed what I already knew. When my family pretended I had simply run away, posting happy pictures from Lillian's flawless wedding, I made my decision. If they wanted me to disappear, I would. But not forever. I cut all ties, changed my contact information, and moved to another part of the city. I submitted a sample of the residue for analysis, and the results pointed to a custom chemical formulation, one crafted by a professional my mother had hired. Over the next 6 months, I underwent skin treatments, procedures, and surgeries. I threw myself back into chemistry, but this time with a focus on forensic analysis, influence, and exposure. My face healed, subtly altered, leaving me almost unrecognizable to those who weren't looking closely. I built a new identity as an independent consultant, earning respect, money, and access to elite social circles. Eventually, I attended an exclusive gala where Lillian was present, now thriving as a high society figure alongside Daniel. Standing near her in a black dress, I leaned in and murmured quietly, "I hope your cream was safe tonight." Lillian froze, panic instantly replacing her smile. "Do I know you?" she whispered. I looked her in the eyes and replied, "No, but I know you," before walking away into the crowd. That single encounter opened the floodgates. Slowly and methodically, I leaked anonymous evidence to investigative journalists, lab order records, illicit chemical transactions, and the precise chemical analysis matching the burn formula. The scandal broke publicly. News outlets began reporting on improper chemical acquisitions tied to my family's name. Daniel quickly distanced himself to save his own reputation, and my mother's standing disintegrated under legal scrutiny. Lillian eventually tracked me down late one evening. When I turned to face her without my glasses or mask, her eyes widened in terror. "Evelyn, you're alive," she gasped. We didn't mean to." "You applied the cream," I said calmly. "You watched me burn, and you smiled." Tears streamed down her face. "It was Mom, not me." "I didn't destroy you, Lillian," I said softly, stepping closer. "I just stopped staying silent. I just showed everyone who you really are." She stood there, hollow and broken, before walking away for the last time. Months later, the investigations concluded. Charges were filed, my family's social status crumbled, and Daniel filed for divorce. Standing before the mirror, looking at the faint scars that remained, I realized they no longer represented pain. They represented survival. I didn't need revenge anymore, because the truth had already done its work. I was ready to live my life, not as a victim, but as someone who survived the fire and came out stronger on the other side.